Hi lovelies, I hope this video finds you well and not struggling too much with the energies we've had through January. I personally have felt a bit of a shift in the last week or so, just a sense of optimism which is there. Even though there's some challenges to face, I do feel really optimistic and a bit of a buzz actually, like an excitement for the year ahead. So yeah, it's not been plain sailing January, but I do feel from the people I've spoken to that we're all dealing with situations possibly better this year than we would have done if we'd faced them last year. So this sense of transformation and growth that we're all noticing within ourselves and those around us, which is really beautiful. So looking forward then to February. Well, February has a lot of water. So water is very much linked with our emotions, and so I think there is going to be a bit of I think it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster really. So if you're up, you're going to be up, and if you're down, it is a case of going with the flow. Try not to fight against the tide this month. So let's have a look at those detailed astrological events, if I can speak, that you might notice, depending on where these things are in your chart, depends on how much you'll feel them. So for some people, you might breeze through and they might not affect you, or others waiting for this sense of relief that may not come because you don't have this particular planetary alignment in your charts. But don't worry, because there is so much movement this month that I really do feel that we're all going to have a sense of change, positive change. So as I say, there's a lot of water here. In fact, there are 11 placements throughout February that are all in water signs, mainly in Pisces, because we're in Pisces season. So the water is going to be, one person described it as astronomical tsunamis of waves of emotion. So this can be good, this can be low energy. So if you find yourself suddenly overwhelmed in one way, take that moment to think, is this just the energy around me or is this mine? It's very important to try to detach from these emotions if they're not yours. The sun and the planetary alignments, moon alignments, and how the planets are opposite one another or conjuncting with one another really does affect our inner state, our inner balance. So go easy on yourself if you are finding yourself 1 minute ecstatic and the next minute thinking, God, why do I feel so low? So we start off really with Jupiter going direct on the 4th of February. So right at the beginning of the month, we have this forward motion. Okay, so it's going to be something that helps you driving forward. So if you have been feeling like projects that you've had going or you've started and you feel like they're either absolutely steadfast or even going backwards, this can relate to Jupiter having been in retrograde and it's now going direct. Also Mars will have affected that energy, but Mars is also coming direct again this month, which is amazing. Now also on the same day, Saturn is conjunct with Mercury. So this alignment will bring a lot of mental clarity. So not only do we suddenly have this forward momentum where we think, oh, I've got this motivation, I've got these ideas coming in, I'm definitely moving forwards. Then you have this clarity of mind, which is going to really give you that boost, that kickstart into these projects. If there's things that you were, as I say, things that were delayed or felt that they were stagnating, this will help them move forward, shift them into a new gear. So make plans at this time. If you've got things that you've been putting off, or you've been sort of toying with the idea of, this is a really, really good time to start putting those plans into reality, start putting your first foot forward. Also a really good time for communication. So if there's anything that is tricky, or you're thinking, I'm going to have that chat, I've got to do that talk, this is a really good time for it. So the beginning of February, that first sort of week of Feb. So then we go on to the 9th of February and Venus enters into Aries, and this is going to bring out a real spontaneity. Okay, so you're going to want to be spontaneous. People around you might suddenly on a whim invite you out or want to come and see you, or you're going to have these downloads of ideas or notions and you're going to act on them, very spontaneous. You're not going to hold back. With this, it can bring, because it's Venus, which is relating to our love side and our connections. So you might find that those loving connections or those romantic connections are really growing, and your partner may be much more affectionate with you, much easier communication with you, but just making you feel very much appreciated and wanted. And vice versa, you may feel yourself actually stepping into that energy and showing your gratitude for those connections around you. Can also be friendships and family members, but often it is a romantic connection there. But it's going to be bringing out our loving side, really wanting to do things for other people, and feeling a great deal of love for those things around us and those people around us. So an amazing time for gratitude, which is lovely, coming into the full moon then on the 13th. And this full moon is called the full wolf moon, and it brings you into the spotlight. It's very much linked with Leo, and so Leo being a very charismatic sign, it will bring the attention, the focus onto you in a really positive way. So you might feel more inclined to step out of your comfort zone and put yourself forward for certain things that you may not have done before. You might feel that you're ready to take a bit of a leap of faith there, or try something new. As I say, you might actually volunteer for something that possibly in the past you would have been maybe shied away from. So be prepared to be seen and heard here. People are going to start noticing you because of this energy that you're in. And it is a really, Leo energy it's like a magnet. People are drawn to it. It's a real charisma. There's an inner attraction to these people. You can't label it, you can't describe it, but you know that there's a pull towards them. And this is the energy that you're going to be stepping into. People are going to be really drawn to your energy. So definitely a time for concentrating on your well-being, what's best for you, taking really good care of ourselves here with this particular full moon, and any family commitments that you have. Really touch base with family at this point. It's very important through this full moon period. There's definitely a period here that I'm picking up of very inspirational ideas or downloads. So you might be having downloads from spirit, or you might just have these light bulb moments where you see a new way of doing things, or a different way to navigate hurdles or obstacles or challenges. And it's going to be like literally like a lightning bolt, but it's going to be a catalyst to help you overcome things or move forward. And in this period of time where you're being seen, you're being noticed, and people are going to be very, very drawn to your energy. So just that awareness of how you're going to be affecting those around you during that full moon. Now, also on the 13th, we have Mercury and Aquarius, a Mercury and Aquarius sextile, okay, with Uranus. So that's where they're opposite, but they are at an angle. So the energy bounces from one another almost. They are amplifying energies here. And this is what's going to make it very important to concentrate on your well-being. Put yourself first at this time. And by putting yourself first, you are assisting those family commitments, because obviously the people that rely on us the most require us to have full energy. They require us to be at our utmost whenever we can be, and we can't what's the saying, you can't drink from an empty well. So refill yourself, replenish yourself in this full moon energy and this lovely Mercury, Aquarius and Uranus energy. Okay, so bring it all in on around the 13th, 12th to 13th, I would say. That's going to start kicking in on the 12th, and it will last several days. The full moon really quite powerful for 2 to 3 days afterwards. So really looking after yourself there. Now mid-month, a general feeling of deep emotions surfacing. So if you're in a really good place, you are going to find yourself having a lot of self-confidence, feeling empowered, really feeling that draw to be your absolute utmost best person you can be, a lot of joy and wonder. If you're in a place where you're struggling, or there are challenges, or you are feeling quite negative energies towards yourself, this is going to be amplified mid-month. So if you can, I would say through the beginning of February, while this energy is quite light, quite vibrant, and all this clarity is coming in, and this communication. Try and get yourself aligned so that by mid-month you're in a very positive place, if you can be. If you're not in a positive place, then I would say don't hide away from any healing that has to be done. Let it come, let it flow. As I say, this is not a period of fighting against the tide. Allow yourself to go with it, feel it, work through it. And if you can't work through it alone, ask. It's a very important time for these connections with family, very close friends, to let them step in and assist you with any of that healing or anything that you just are finding a bit difficult. So it's a really cosmic connection to your inner world at this point. It's Pisces energy, so it's very introverted. It is definitely an inner feeling, working on ourselves. And we did a lot of that through 2024, and we're probably a bit pig sick of it. But this period, this short period of looking inwards, making sure we have tied off any loose ends, and anything else that's surfacing. You know, we're an ongoing healing project. You know, we should be constantly checking in with ourselves. And so this is a period here of really tapping into this dreamy energy, and envisaging how we want it to be, how we want to feel, and then making steps towards bringing that life to ourselves. You know, we have to meet the universe halfway here with any manifestation that we're doing. We can ask for these amazing things, but we have to show our willingness to work towards them. So it's just a time for inner work there, that middle of February. Now, coming towards nearer to the end of the month here, the 23rd, 24th, is when Mars goes direct. So Mars is all about drive, determination, motivation. It's a powerhouse. It's like the car battery restarting, okay, and kicking you off. You're literally you're going to feel like you're on a jetpack, okay, at this point for the month. It's a real time of passion. So if there are things that you want to get on with, you want to say, you want to do, new connections you want to make, new jobs that you're stepping into, you're going to do so with massive amounts of passion and desire. Allow it to flow through you. Feel it coming, feel it being pushed through you, and definitely take action on anything. If earlier in the month you've had these periods of clarity and planning, now is that moment to really step into gear, get it into drive and go, really push yourself forward into taking action. So Mars actually is in trine with Pluto, and this is going to also bring out this ambitious nature, okay? And it's going to do this amazing energy revival. So not only is Mars turning back round and pushing you forward with it, it's like a steamroller behind you that you're going to be keeping ahead of. Then you bring in that Pluto energy as well, and that is going to really boost that energy and give you this ambitious, driven sense of focus towards the things that you want. So definitely a time for action. Now, coming towards the end of the month, we have our new moon on the 28th, and this is a real time for connecting with intuition, and beginning any creative projects you have. So if you want to start off, if you're doing arts and crafts, or if you want to decorate, or you're looking at creating a workshop or project, you know, any type of project, or you're going to start sewing or knitting, this is a really good time. That energy is definitely on your side. It's going to keep you focused, keep that ambition going, and keep you motivated to keep trying something new. The 28th, we have a conjunct with Jupiter in Taurus, and that really does bring in this lucky note, this sort of icing on the cake, if you like, towards the end of the month, bringing in really good fortune, good luck. You're going to find things working out for you. Things are going to turn out for the best, okay, at the end of the month here. So yeah, it really is a lovely month to be moving through. Some of the energies are similar to January, in that January started off with one energy and is going to be ending in a different energy, and much more, you know, holding our breath, waiting, something's coming, a bit of excitement and anticipation. And February is starting, it's going to set off our emotions really with all this water placement, all these water signs. there's lots of romance and inspiration, movement forward, this motivation to get going again. We're getting nearer to spring as well. That always helps, doesn't it? But by the end of the month, it's this definite sense of luck changing, luck being on your side. So where January has thrown a few curveballs, a few challenges, just to check us out, just to see how we're doing this year, and also for us to view our growth. Those challenges have helped us see, do you know what, I dealt with that better this time than I would have last year. And so February, the end of that month, saying to you, you're in good luck, and this good luck is going to move forward into March. Now March is eclipse season, so we already have those feelings from the eclipse. They start quite early, actually, the shifts and changes that have to take place in order for there to be an eclipse. So that is going to be sort of coming through at the end of the month as well. So the end of February really is really stop and start, I would say. So you might feel very active some days, and then suddenly you might feel, oh, I feel like I'm standing still for a minute. So it's a bit like the engine getting started and it's spluttering a bit, okay, at the very start of this shift, this change in energy. So we've got this steamroller behind us, we're running, and then we go, oh, I can rest for a bit. And then we go again. So it's giving us these little pauses. Very important to take those pauses to rest, because this energy is going to be quite forceful, pushing you into new directions and extremely exciting opportunities coming. So take those moments, like to take a breath and rest when you can, and then get back on that treadmill and run. It's a very positive treadmill though. It's not it's not laborious. It is a lovely energy of heading towards your goal. That's how it feels. So definitely go with the flow. Don't force things this month. Now Venus is slowing down at the end of February because it is about to go into retrograde. So it will bring changes to relationships by the end of the month. Now, it won't be that suddenly you fall out with everyone, but what you might find is those deeper connections at the beginning of the month there'll be this passion and this desire and this romance, this spontaneity, and then coming to the end of February and into March, you might feel that you're distancing yourselves a little bit from each other. And that is because you're doing this introspection, this inner work has to take place. And so in all relationships, friendships, colleagues, your partners, there is this period where you have to come apart and be individuals as well as a partnership. And so you might feel a sense of that at the end of February, going into very early few days of March, as Venus is slowing down, getting ready to then go retrograde. So don't be surprised if things are going well and things are really positive. You're just going to feel a sense of being able to be an individual and have your own time. And it will boost that relationship, the fact that you're both able to have time away from each other to enjoy your individuality and all of your own projects and the things you love doing, your hobbies, or just being able to go and read alone or have a bath on your own or go out by yourself. These energies are very beneficial and you're going to feel it boosting your relationship. If things are a bit tricky, this slowing down, it might feel a bit disconnected. You might struggle to feel connected just at the end of the month they're going into March. So again, it's something to work on, particularly while we have this energy around the 9th of this spontaneity and this romance. I would really utilize that to get yourselves, you know, like a touching base. How are we doing? Where are we? Why don't we do this more? You know, make time for each other, so that by the end of the month, when you start to feel that energy possibly shifting, depending on where Venus is in your charts, that you don't feel this disconnect from one another and think, oh, that's weird. We were doing really well earlier this month and now it feels a bit tricky. Okay, so just things to be mindful of. But as I say, depending on where each of these planets are in your chart, will determine how much they influence you. Okay, so this is a general overview really for everybody for the month. So really keen now to have a look at the energies that Spirit want to show us through the tarot. So let's go over and I'll deal the cards and we'll see what else is coming for us in February. So first off, I've been really drawn to this blue adventurine, which is very interesting actually because of all the water the water placements. And this always makes me think of the ocean or the sky. It's such a beautiful blue. It's quite glittery actually, so it almost looks like a geode where you get the quartz crystals through it. So adventurine, very much linked with communication, so the throat chakra. Very healing for things like thyroid problems, sore throats, tonsil problems, glands. Extremely healing, and will bring in harmony, balance, and a real sense of calm. Very good if you keep this in your bedroom. Helps with sleep and just helps to get rid of any anxiety or overthinking. Also really useful if you struggle to say what you are thinking. So if your inner world is not aligning with the outside world around you and you need to be able to put that into words, then this stone is very helpful to either hold it or just keep it in a pocket. I mean, I would say slip it into your bra, but this it's a bit big. But yeah, very useful stone when it comes to speaking out, speaking our truth. Very much connected to spiritual realm. And it is an angelic stone. So if you work with angels, it's a really good one actually to have with you if you're performing healing or asking for healing from any of the angels. I think it's linked with Archangel Michael actually, who keeps coming into me at the moment, which is lovely. So let's pop that out of the way just for a minute. Pop that there. So I'm really drawn to pull a charm for February as well. So I'm just going to shut my eyes and have a rummage and see what we get. What's this one here? Oh, so lovely, beautiful. There we go. Just talking about angels, and we have an angel's wing. I do feel very connected at the moment, so I don't know how you ladies feel. But definitely a sense that the veil feels really thin. Lots of psychic downloads, lots of sensing things before they happen. So sort of premonitions and things like that at the moment, which aren't always very usual for me, but definitely a sense that the angels are with us, guiding us through this difficult energy we've had in January. So lovely. So let's go over and have a look at the energies and messages coming through for February. Beautiful. Okay, so we have 1111. There we go. Master number 1111 reveals the 4 pillars of light that have opened the portals, allowing you to access to the divine truth. This angelic gateway supports your spiritual awakening. So again, another message there linking us to angels for February. Definitely looking out for 1111. I am seeing it a lot at the moment, along with some, a succession of other numbers that I tend to see. But 1111 is coming up in lots of people's readings. And also I'm, as I say, I'll be out and about and look somewhere and I'll see 1111. So yeah, very key. Also, I'm really drawn to that full moon there. So very key around the full moon for this month. Okay, let's have a look. I think these are called Revier. I can't remember what these oracle are. Oh, so messages and energies for February, please. What do we need to know? Main energies, please. Okay, so we have the lilies. I believe they're arum lilies. Lilies are often to do with peace and harmony, which very much links with our crystal that we've chosen. Okay, these are angel connection cards. Have I just done these? Oh, no, I haven't, have I? Oh. No, I did the other cards, didn't I? No, these are Wild Child. Sorry, these are Wild Child, or the Cosmic Wild Child. Okie doke. So we have Glimpse. It's beautiful light there. And we have the ephemeral. Do you know, this is a word I really struggle to say whenever this card comes out, and I end up apologising because it's a word I know, but I've only ever read it, so I don't know how it's pronounced. It means something that's very short-lived. So something that's going to come and go really very, very quickly, okay? Which is really linked with a glimpse. A glimpse is something you see very quickly, and it's here 1 minute and it's gone the next. So these two cards very much saying that something, some sort of energy here is going to be coming and going very, very quickly. Okay, so I've chosen the Before Tarot today. So these are based on the Rider-Waite images, but they are taken a few minutes before. So the images are very similar, but there are slight differences which changes the messages that come through. So main messages, energies, what do we need to know for February? Oh, we had a flipper, we had the Devil. Again, I've seen a lot of the Devil in personal readings recently. Oh, and there's one on the floor. Let me get that one as well. So we have the Three of Wands. We have the Devil. And we have the Six of Pentacles. Now, Spirit actually are telling me I need another deck, which is quite unusual. So I'm going to do as I'm told. I think they want me to use these ones, okay? So Spirit, what is it you want us to see from this deck? Oh, is that one stuck? And which other one? It's turned in the deck. Lovely, okay. So we have Orphaned. And we have Round and Round. Okay, let's go over then and have a look at those messages and what energies we're looking at from Spirit. Okay, lovely. So let's start with our 1111 message there from our angel cards. So, 1111. So to me, obviously, it is one of our reoccurring angel numbers that we often see linking to Spirit really, really clearly there. The ones being new beginnings, and so it is a fresh start, a new start coming in. And I'm getting a real sense here of these lights, of these downloads coming in, and it's downloads of knowledge with the tree there. To see that as like the tree of knowledge. So truth is being brought in, okay, things are being revealed with the moon here. Sort of the moon card in tarot is all about illumination and things being shown to you that possibly you didn't see before. So this really links to me with that Leo energy at the full moon on the 13th, sort of being in the spotlight. You'll hear the moon is shining down, this information, this knowledge is coming to you, but this real sense of being seen, this interconnectivity with the moon cycles here, and these downloads coming in, bringing you this wisdom. So yeah, keep an eye out definitely for 1111 or 11. Okay, then we have our Arum lilies. So lilies to me represent calm and happiness, serenity, harmony. So really linking in with that crystal energy that I was really drawn to. Now, they're all to do with wisdom and experience, actually. So sometimes it's our life experience, our age really counts in our favour when we see lilies, and it's going to help navigate through things. Getting a real sense of mirroring with the picture, the stained glass behind the lilies. So it may be that you're mirroring your energies with somebody close to you or somebody around you. So, you know, tap into each other, allow each other to help each other through these situations. Or it might just be a noticing that you're seeing a collective feeling of energy in this way. But it feels very much like this Venus energy coming in, this loving, this joy, this serenity, and that it will be felt by lots of people around you. So really feel into it, really tap into that. So luck, loyalty and pleasure with lilies. Definitely sexual energy here with the lilies. They're related very much to the feminine. And so you may feel that you have a heightened sex drive through a period of time during February, and very healing energy. Sexual energy is always linked with healing. Now it is related to a king here, and so these energies can be related to a male energy around you, or it can just be a balance of the feminine and masculine here coming together in this healthy way and bringing real harmony and balance to your body and to your spirit. So yeah, look out then for these feminine energies, the sexual energy, and any mirroring going on. So you might find yourself mirroring your friends or your partners, where you're all going through very similar experiences or emotional, so you might have similar emotions as each other. Let's have a look at the glimpse card. So here we have this beautiful ball of light, almost like a sun. We have this glimpse of it. So to me, this is about clarity, and that really links in then with that Saturn and Mercury placement on the 4th. And so I think we're going to start having visions of the future, maybe. I said I had all these downloads and these sort of premonitions coming through. So really look out for them. Trust if they come in that they may be alluding to things that are coming towards you. Definitely feel like there's going to be more seeing spirit or feeling spirit. So connecting to your spirit guides, your ancestors, the angels, however that feels to you, but definitely tapping into it through February. And I do get a sense that this is something that is going to happen regardless of if you're tapping in. So be mindful to protect yourself as well, so that you're not being disturbed at night or when you're just trying to navigate your daily routine, if spirit is sort of tapping on your shoulder. So definitely a wish fulfillment here with the huge star in the middle. Connections with the two people, again linking to that Venus energy of connections. I get a sense of longing, just, you know, wanting something, desiring something, and longing for something. Again, I get a sense of downloads here with all the shooting stars, and a healing energy, that inner glow, our inner light. So it could be a time where we need to tap into our own healing, and really practicing healing on ourselves, even if it's just setting an intention to spend time by yourself saying, my body is healing, my body knows how to heal itself, however it works for you, or just laying your hands on yourself and imagining that light coming through, that universal energy, that light coming through your hands, and directing it wherever you need. Now, ephemeral, I think I'm saying that right, I'm so sorry if, you know, you're probably all shouting at the screen teaching me how to read. Yeah, ephemeral. So this is the short-lived, this is a cicada or a cicada. Again, I don't know how to say it, I don't know how to speak. Something very fleeting. So something is going to come and go very quickly this month. So that could be good or bad. If it's something really enjoyable, you're going to want it to linger for longer. But it could be something that, if it's a challenge, it will literally be here one day and gone the next. Okay. I'm literally getting that in my head. Here today, gone tomorrow. So whatever this is that comes in, I feel like it's going to be something, because I see cicadas as a bit of a pest. They're a nuisance. So something's going to come in and it's going to be a bit irritating, but it's going to come and go very, very quickly. So it's fleeting. You're just going to feel a sense of it or see it, tap into it, and then it will definitely die a death. It's going to die off. Our cicadas, they're only alive for a few days, maybe even 24 hours, I can't remember. But they tend to all hatch together and then they all die off together. So whatever this is, it could be a feeling that is around you with this glimpse card. It could be something that's connecting with other people, and then it's literally here and then it goes. And you think, oh, I wonder what that was. But it feels like a collective feeling, that feeling of something that's a bit irritating, or yeah, it keeps you awake at night. Like if you think about the cicadas chirping at night, so maybe something that keeps you awake at night, but it will be very short-lived. So try not to overthink it, try not to worry, let it come in. No, it's literally going to be gone in no time at all. Okay, so let's turn to our tarot advice here. So I've got the Three of Wands here, and it is before the usual Three of Wands. So in the original picture, the man is facing the other way, holding one of the wands. And the bird isn't here. So this particular Three of Wands is saying that there will be a message, I think a written message of some description coming in, or knowledge being passed to you. This, I think, is a bird that's brought this message. And And I feel like this is going to bring you clarity, because the original Three of Wands is all about patience and waiting. You're looking out at your new horizon, this new opportunity, and you know it's coming. So it's waiting for your ship to come in. But at the moment, I think you haven't been given the go ahead. You haven't been given the nod. And until this message arrives, then you think, oh, it's come in, I can wait for it now. So this could be a job offer. It could be connection with a person, maybe someone asking you out, someone saying, should we go on a date? You know, that this information isn't yours yet, but it is being flown to you. It's coming into you. It feels very divine there, with the bird of prey bringing it in. Definitely new opportunities coming, because we can see all of these new horizons in the background. There's a sense of being in the middle of things. So you might be caught up between things, between worlds. You might be at one thing waiting for the others to come in. As I say, this is this ship waiting for your ship to come in. So this card is all about waiting for your rewards, really. Things you deserve. You've overcome obstacles here, and you are now getting your just desserts. And you're able to put something behind you, because in the original card he's facing the other way, so he literally turns his back to it. So whatever this knowledge is, it's going to allow you to put it behind you, put something behind you, okay, and look out to the new opportunities, to new starts. Okay, now we have our Devil card. The Devil here. Now usually in the Rider-Waite pack, this chain has already gone through the loop here, so they're already given their soul to the Devil. But at the moment he holds on to them, but they haven't quite sold themselves out. There's still time for a reprieve from the Devil's grasp. So this is a real time to assert yourself. So something through February, you're going to need to speak up. You're going to need to break free from things that you think are holding you back, or if you feel held back, a time for expressing your true emotions, okay? Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. They're both naked here, so there might be areas where you feel very vulnerable, having to discuss things or say things or put yourself out there. But definitely the message is to do just that, okay? Don't be tempted to go back to old patterns of behaviour or unfavourable habits. If you've broken away from something, try not to go back to it, okay? Because you're being tempted by the Devil here. There is a sense of either collaborating together to break free, because actually if you look how loose the chain is around this man's neck, they could lift them off, they could walk free. But actually I sense that this is to do with our energy at the end of the month, as Venus is beginning to go retrograde, and it's a time for going it alone, a time for independence, okay, and to be free of confines. So if you feel a bit, you know, sometimes if we get we're with our partner all the time, or our friends all the time, and we think, you know what, I just need a weekend off, I just want some time to myself. This is the calling. I'm also getting a sense of kicking a bad habit, and I'm seeing wine here and smoking with the fire and the grapes. So if you're trying to quit smoking or cut down on the drinking or stop drinking, then this is really good energy through February that's going to really help you to move away from it. But don't be afraid to release yourself from the binds of something that feels like it is holding you back, holding you down. Break free of it. You can do it. You've got the ability to do it. And here, I don't know if in the other Devil card they have the masks on, actually. I can't remember. But here they've got the masks on their head. And so in order to release ourselves, we have to make sure we're not wearing a mask, which actually comes in a later card, the Orphaned card. But yeah, make sure that you are showing your true colours. Don't hide behind other people's opinions, other people's expectations of yourself. Be you, do you, be proud, be naked. Really put yourself out there. Just, yeah, throw caution to the wind and be truly you. That will just definitely help you break free from whatever it is that you feel's anchoring you. Okay, so we have the Six of Pentacles. Now, the original Six of Pentacles, this is a wealthy person who has the scales of justice, and they are weighing up and measuring their wealth against these poor people, and they are sharing the wealth. So in this card, things aren't quite weighed up, they're not quite balanced. So there may be areas through February where you're feeling a bit off balance, and you're working on that. You're taking time to make sure you're working on your own balance. This is a really strong message to make sure that you are only giving what you can afford to realistically give. So that can be financially, but also emotionally, and physically. If you're giving a lot to somebody and you are exhausted or tired, or you actually just want some time for yourself, take your time, take time for yourself, weigh it up, really be fair to you. Make sure that the fairness is for you first. Okay, it feels like it's selfishness, but it's really not. It's as I said earlier, it's keeping your well full, your emotional side full and energized, so that you are able to give more. Okay, so definitely a time for making sure that you're being fair to other people. There might be decisions, you might be caught in between two people and they're asking you to make a decision. So get good perspective if you're going to get involved, and weigh things up. Make sure you're balancing both views before you make your decision. Okay, but definitely a sense of you being in a very good financial state, and not having to worry about the pennies too much, actually. But a message with finances, just not to overspend. If you're already stretched, don't stretch yourself further. But if there is something, so if there was an investment opportunity and you can go for it, this is a really strong message to go for it. Balance it up in your head and go for it financially. And that actually comes into play through March, actually, with finances. So the finances in March are exactly that. If you're overstretching yourself, you're going to really struggle. It's not going to be getting better. But if you're able to budget and plan your money, you will find it growing very, very rapidly. So very key information for the end of the month there. But overall, I would say make sure you are balancing your energy, particularly because both of these characters are wearing red cloaks, and the guy that's waiting patiently and is getting his rewards, it's a luxury, it looks new, it's very full. And then here it's tattered and torn. It's like you've been through the ringer and you're exhausted and you've been doing too much. It's like it's been torn away because you've been giving too much. So definitely take time out, say no if you need to. I know we say that a lot, don't we? But sometimes we're able just to say, actually, it's too much, I can't do that. We have to slow down. I'm very guilty of it, of not saying no and having to go, actually, I can't do it this time, or block my diary out, or to the kids, I'm going to go to bed early and read my book. Whatever it is, make sure you're protecting your energy, definitely through this month. And that was key, wasn't it? That was one of the messages that came through from the astrology. Now, these two cards are the cards that Spirit really guided me to pull two more cards. And I think this is a shadow aspect of February. When I look at them, it's what I'm getting. And like I said to you, all of these energies will affect you slightly differently. And depending on where you are on your journey, those things will apply to you differently, because they'll pull out different emotions. If it's a highly emotive time, and you're in a really good place, you're going to find yourself being lifted along into this happiness and vitality. If you're struggling a little bit, it is going to make you face what you're struggling and try and draw that from you and deal with it, so you can then progress and move on back into those higher vibrations. So we have the orphaned card. So our orphaned card here. So to me, it is about questioning who you are and your place in the world. So you might think, I don't even know if I belong here. You might feel really disconnected or alone. Now, that's what we said about relationships, didn't we, at the end of the month, as Venus goes retrograde. It could pull this sort of gap between you, or you might think, do you know, I'm in a partnership and I feel quite lonely. Okay, so this again is if you're in a bit of a challenging phase, or if things just aren't quite right. Okay, this card is all about yearning to belong somewhere and looking for better connections. So the best way to find our true connections is just to be ourselves. And if you see the girl here, she is pretending to be a bird. She's in a nest, and she has a beak on her head. So she's definitely not being her true self. And by being somebody else, you attract the wrong people, and then you're not fulfilled, and you attract the wrong things into your life, because the universe will try and bring you what you are showing it that you want. So if you're showing it, I'm a swan, it's going to bring you things that are for swans. And if you're a fish, that's no good to you. So yeah, be yourself, okay? You are transforming, you are shifting and changing. And part of that is learning to be confident in who you are. Speak your truth. Try not to wear that mask. You know, we have to change our hats all the time when we're at work or at home. But actually, fundamentally being true to ourselves is how we find fulfillment and happiness, because we align with the things we really want and the people that we need around us and who fit us. The more we're ourselves, the more our tribe come in and the more we feel supported. Get a real sense of spirit helping you with this here. We can see this face in the rocks. Spirit are part of your foundation. They're going to help this growth and this period of transformation if you are feeling in this energy. You may not feel in this energy at all this month if you're already doing the work and you are already taking steps to be very true to who you are. But if you're still in a phase where you are really struggling to allow your true colours to shine, then yeah, just make steps towards being more yourself and helping this, bringing these true connections to you and helping you just feel aligned within your body and soul. So you find your place in the world. It's a horrible feeling, isn't it? When we're in jobs or relationships or situations where we can't be ourselves and we feel like we don't fit in. It's a really lonely time. It's very, very tough on the emotions. And the more you try to fit in, the worse it becomes almost, isn't it? So yeah, true colours, let them shine. I've got true colours shining through now, obviously, as you expect. Everything in my head turns into a song. So we have the round and round card. So again, if we are not aligning with our intuition and what our spirit guides are trying to desperately direct us towards, you might find yourself going round and round, okay? And you might find yourself repeating patterns or thinking, oh my God, I've been here before. And I always use the analogy of a roundabout. You get to the roundabout and you just keep going round it. You don't make a decision, you don't turn off and you forget where you're headed, or you are afraid to head where you need to go. So this is the cycle, round and round. So it's about making decisions. It's about deciding on a direction you want to head and being really true to yourself, allowing spirit to guide us. Again, we have spirit here coming through in this face in the background. Let them guide you on your direction. So really tapping into our intuition this month. Definitely a card for accessing higher spiritual awareness. I would really, really advise, if you're not already, to do exercises like Tracy's Sitting in the Power, or some of the connection that Claire uses, because it's so beneficial to be able to tap into your intuition. And even if you read oracle cards, just practice them more, because that's helping you get your intuition flowing. You're going to see signs and symbols within those cards, within those pictures, and then start paying attention to them and trusting that, oh, that is the guidance. And even if you ask a question and pull a card and then allow that guidance to sink in and think, how can I use that? What are they asking me to do? How can I move towards it? And just allowing that inner compass really to direct you a little bit more. Again, this is if you are struggling with your energies this month, tapping into that intuition. It's really beautiful, this card. And I don't know why, but I'm really drawn to the shell. So don't retreat into your shell this month. There might be a real temptation, if things get tricky, to want to withdraw and want to just turn away from the world and go into hermit mode. And I would say it's probably going to get more tricky for you if you do that, because you're going to keep repeating that. And it will say the same messages over and over. And you'll find yourself in similar situations, meeting similar people, finding similar challenges, because we're just keeping going around that roundabout. So at some point, small steps, it can literally just be the slightest changes that you make, even if it's a change in the time you drink your coffee or what you eat for breakfast or the route that you take to work. Small changes will bring about this transformation and you shifting into a different place. They don't always have to be these massive shifts. It can be clearing out the wardrobe of stuff that you haven't done, or if you're putting things off. There's a lovely rule at the moment that I've heard, and I'm really trying to use it, but if it's going to take you less than 2 minutes, do it now. Don't put it off. Just get it done and then get on with your day, and you'll find you'll suddenly have all this more spare time, more freedom, and you're not being caught up by all these small tiny things that you needed to do, and instead you can just focus on your intuition and your guidance and heading in the direction that you desperately want to go in. Where are your desires? Where's your passion? Let's concentrate on them. Let's look at the things we really, really want to happen to us, where we want to head, our improvements we want around us, and internal improvements for ourselves, and focus on those and let the little things go. People say don't sweat the small stuff, but actually I think allow the universe to deal with all the big stuff, because that's what they're there for. Surely they're the only ones who can deal with the massive things, and we have to trust that the universe is going to guide us through those times. But those little things we can do, we can, you know, if it's putting the bin out or empty the dishwasher, so that when we get home we're not doing it, and then it becomes a chore, and then we got lots of chores, and it gets heavy and it weighs down and it becomes too much. So small steps make big changes. Okay, so that is our energy for February. Let's come through from spirit and intuitively through our cards. Definitely a massive connection to angels there. I've loved that we got the angel wing, we had our angelic crystal, and then we had our angel numbers. So really special, and that healing energy coming in. So take good care of yourselves through February. I hope that it is slightly easier than January, because I know we've all had a few ups and downs. But yeah, let's hope it's a bit more plain sailing, and that although it is a very emotional month with all that water coming in, that we just take time for ourselves, take time to rest, go with the flow. If it feels like you've got momentum behind you and you're feeling really driven and ambitious, use it to your advantage this month. Tap into that spontaneity, enjoyment, vitality, be seen, allow yourself, you know, let your hair down. And then if you need to, having that time of independence towards the end of the month to tie up any loose ends, to go and be independent, have a bit of freedom, be yourself on your own. And then those connections will benefit massively from that as well. So lovely. The only other thing I am going to add, because it's just come into my mind when I said about all the water this month, is that because we have so much water, that there may be a lot of rain. I don't know. So I'm thinking it's very wet. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, because I really have had enough of wet weather. But yeah, just be mindful of water around the house, leaks or rivers flooding, and rainfall. Yeah, that sort of, but weathery water rather than emotional water. Anyway, I will stop waffling at you. Enjoy February. I really look forward to seeing what's going to be coming to us through the month, and then looking at our energies as we go into March. So take good care of yourselves. I look forward to sending all of your readings through February and seeing how you are being affected personally, and what different energies and messages come through. Thank you as always for being part of this amazing membership. You're such a beautiful group. It's an honour, an absolute pleasure to do your readings for you. And if there's anything else you want to see within the community, I'm going to try and get some more videos uploaded soon. I've been a bit slack with those. But if there's anything else you would like to see, then obviously drop me a message or pop it into the Facebook page. Take good care, my lovelies. Love to you all, and we'll speak very soon.